Hello everyone, welcome to the class of Internet and Web Design. In this session, we are going to discuss about web designing using HTML. So, after learning about HTML, you will be able to design a static web page and you will design a web page according to a structure. You will have an idea about HTML tags and attributes. So in this session, we are going to discuss HTML basic concepts, its tags, some commonly used HTML commands, title and footers, text formatting, text style, list, and how do we add graphics, how do we link document, how do we draw tables, and how do we design a frame using HTML tag. So let's start with HTML. What is HTML? As we all know that HTML is very popular and it stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is used for creating web pages and web applications. Here there are three terms: Hypertext Markup Language. So what is hypertext? Hypertext stands for text within text. It means in HTML, we are writing our text inside some tag, that is a text within text, that is a hypertext. A text has a link within it is a hypertext. Whenever you click on that link which brings you to a new web page, you have clicked on hypertext. And hypertext is a way to link your web pages from one to another. There are many tags which gives you facility to create a hypertext, such as anchor tag. We will discuss about anchor tag, that how we use anchor tag to create a hyperlink. Besides that, we can also create a hyperlink with different tags, such as if we want to create a link on a text box, we can create it. If we want to create a link on a button, it can also be implemented. So as hypertext markup language works on the concept of linking documents from one link to another, so it refers as a hypertext. Next term comes markup language. Markup language is a computer language which is used to apply layout and formatting conventions to a text document. It makes text more interactive and dynamic. It can turn text into images, tables, links, etc. Markup language provides facility to structure your document in a page. That means web page. The next term is web page. What is it? It is a document which is written in HTML and translated by a web browser. We can't able to open a web page without web browser. A web page can be identified by entering an URL, and we can able to see the effect of URL by moving from one page to another. Once we move from one page to another, the corresponding URL are reflected on the address bar of the web browser. A web page can be of the static type or dynamic type. HTML provides feature only to develop a static web page. It does not support dynamic web page, because to make a web page dynamic, we have to interact with the server as well as we have to interact with the user. For that, either we can use JavaScript or any other server-side scripting language such as JSP, ASP, PHP. You can use to create a dynamic web page. Yes, HTML gives you facility to create a responsive web page by implementing it through CSS. So CSS is something different from HTML. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. We use CSS to make our web page more attractive. and we can also create our web page in an interactive manner using JavaScript. So when we design a web page, HTML is not only the platform through which we can develop a web page. Yes, it is a platform which gives you an idea that how you can create a web document, but if you want to create an attractive and interactive web page, you have to implement CSS and JavaScript both with your HTML. Then only you are able to create interactive and attractive web page. Without implementing CSS or JavaScript, we can't imagine an interactive or attractive web page using only HTML code. So now we will study that what is HTML and how we can develop a web page using HTML tags. HTML was created by Berners-Lee in late 1991, and HTML 2.0 was the first standard HTML which was published in 1995. HTML 4.01 was a major version of HTML which was published in late 1990. The HTML 4.01 version is widely used, but currently we are using HTML5 version, which is an extension of HTML 4.01, and the HTML5 version was published in 2012. Originally, HTML was developed with the intent of defining the structure of documents like heading, paragraph, list, and so forth to facilitate the sharing of scientific information between researchers. But now, HTML is being widely used to format web page with the help of different tags available in HTML language. Now, the question is, when we create a HTML page, what is the extension of that page? So the extension of HTML file or HTML page, you can say it must be .htm or .html. We can open our HTML file in readable format only using web browser. If we open our HTML file in some another document, it is not possible as to view the effect of the tags written on the page. So if you want to use HTML, if you want to open the HTML file, please download any web browser first, because without web browser the HTML code does not work. Now, before going to the tag section, let us see how HTML versions are evolved. So the first version of HTML was 1.0, which was a bare bones version of HTML language, and it was released in 1991. Then the next version comes HTML 2.0, which was released in 1995, and it was a standard language version for website design. HTML 2.0 was able to support extra features such as form-based file upload, from elements such as text box, option buttons, etc. Here a term was introduced, that is form. What is a form? Form is a control of HTML page which interact with the user of the web page. In the form, we have text box to input our data. We have option button to input our data from the multiple section. We have to choose only one option. There is a checkbox button, there is a file upload button, there is a button which is used for submit and reset. So HTML 2.0 comes with the features of form-based controls. Next, the version 3.2 was published by W3 Consortium in 1997. It was capable for creating tables and providing support for extra options for form elements. It can also support a web page with complex mathematical equations, such as we can able to write subscript and superscript using SUB tag and SUP tag to write the mathematical equations. Today, it is practically supported by most of the browsers. Now, the HTML 3.2 introduces the concept of table and some extra form elements. The next version of HTML was introduced in December 1999. That was the HTML 4.01. It is also a very stable version of HTML and it provides the facility to integrate CSS in the HTML page. So the concept of CSS was introduced from HTML 4.01. The next and the updated version was HTML5. It is the newest version of hypertext markup language. It was first drafted in January 2008. There are two major organizations which are involved in the development of HTML5 versions are W3C and WHATWG, that is Web Hypertext Application Technology Working Group. And still HTML5 is in under development phase, but we are using HTML5. So this is all about the HTML versions. Now, what are the features of HTML? It is a very easy and simple language. It is very easy to understood and modify. It is very easy to make an effective presentation with HTML because it has lot of formatting tags, such as you can use heading tag to define different type of headings. We have 6 headings tag. We have different font style through which we can write the HTML code so that we can create an effective presentation on the web page. It is a markup language, so it provides a flexible way to design web pages along with the text. It facilitates programmers to add a link on the web page by HTML anchor tag. So it enhances the interest of browsing of the user. It is platform independent because it can be displayed on any platform like Windows, Linux or Macintosh or any other operating system, whatever you are using. It just only involves software, that is the web browser, and every operating system has their own web browser. So if you don't want to install a new web browser, an extra web browser on your system, it is okay because HTML works with any web browsers. HTML is not a case sensitive programming language, which means we can use tag either in lower case or uppercase. It will treat in a same manner because it is not case sensitive. So these are the basic features of HTML, which gives a platform to create a web page, to create an effective presentation on the web page. Now, the advantages of HTML. What are the advantages? Why we use HTML? So the main advantage of using HTML is to create a website. Next, if we want to have as an advantage, what is it? It gives an opportunity to make our career as a web designer or web developer. Because HTML and CSS are the two basic skills which a web designer should know. The third advantage is if you want to optimize your website to boost its speed and performance, it's good to know HTML to yield the best result. Once you understand the basics of HTML, then other related technology like JavaScript, PHP or AngularJS are become easier to understand too. So HTML has several advantages, and always remember that HTML does not work individually. To create an effective and interactive web page, you need CSS and JavaScript. So if you are going to read the HTML, you will also try to learn CSS and JavaScript. So it is an advantages of HTML that if you want to make a career in web designing or web development, it gives you a huge option to create your to make your career on this. So these are the advantages of HTML. Now, where HTML is applied? It is applied in internet navigation. It is applied in responsive UI design. It is also applied for offline support. For game development, we can use HTML. For web pages development, we can use HTML. Now there is a question how it gives an offline support. This is not a big question. If we are going to make a help file using rich text format in another platform, then it is quite difficult to build that. But if we want to create a help file of any software or any application using HTML, it is very easy. And HTML does not work with an internet. It only needs internet when there is an online access for the link. Otherwise, you can able to open HTML file in offline mode. So it gives offline support also. Now, we have learned that what is its advantages, what are its applications, etc. Now the question is, how we could write the code? What is the platform we need to write the code? So, we don't require any editor, or we can say we don't require any special application to write the code. We can write a HTML code in Notepad, as HTML is a text file, so we can write it in text editor. But always remember to save the file with .htm or .html extension. Text editors are the programs which allow editing in a written text, and there are many text editors available for professional development. Those are Notepad++, Sublime Text, Vim, etc. You can use any one of those. And if you don't want to use any of the another text editors, you can just use the default text editor, that is the Notepad for Windows and TextEdit for Macintosh. These are the default text editor for operating systems such as Windows and Macintosh. Now, we have learned about the text editors, that what are the text editors. Now, what are the building blocks for writing the HTML? It is a question that is there any structure provided to us to write the code? Yes, it is. And these structures are based on the building blocks such as tags, attributes and elements. In absence of tags, attributes and elements, it is not easy to develop a HTML page. So, we should follow the building blocks of HTML. HTML document consists of 3 building blocks such as tags, attributes and elements. What is tag? An HTML tags surrounds the content and apply meaning to it. It is written between angular brackets. In the diagram, you will able to see here there is a P tag which is written under angular bracket. So this is the tag. Attribute. An attribute in HTML provides extra information about the element and it is applied with the start tag. An HTML attribute contains store field, name and value. In this example, you will able to see there is a tag P having attribute class, and these attributes have values GFG. So here class is an attribute with a value GFG. That is the attribute name and attribute value. And the next is element. An HTML element is an individual component of HTML file. In an HTML file, everything written within tags are termed as element. Suppose inside P, I am writing this is my web page. So this is the element. The content, whatever you are writing inside the tag, that is in between the starting tag and end tag, it terms as an element of that tag. So the basic building blocks consist of element, attribute and tags. Here is the syntax to write this: tag name, contain, closing tag. So here we have discussed about building blocks. Now we will discuss what is the overview structure of the HTML element. So here you can able to see this is the structure. We have HTML. This is the root tag of any HTML document. HTML consists of head tag and title tag inside it. Whenever we start HTML tag, it shows that we are starting the HTML document. And inside HTML tag, we have head tag. Head tag has title. The title content, what we want to write the content inside title tag, it will appear on your URL. It means it gives the title to your web page. Means we can say not on the URL, whatever the tab you have opened on the tab, the title will show. And after closing the head section, we start the body section, and this is the main document of your HTML page. Inside body tag, whatever we write, it displays on the document. So this is the very basic structure of HTML elements. Let's discuss one by one what is HTML document. HTML document must start with a document type declaration. The HTML document itself begins with HTML tag and end with closing tag of HTML. Always remember to put the slash when you are going to close any HTML tag. The visible part of the HTML document is between body tag. Whatever we say body tag, it means start tag with end tag. Here the term comes doc type. So the doc type declaration represents the document type and helps browser to display web pages correctly. It must only appear once at the top of the page whenever you start the writing HTML page. HTML tag encloses the complete HTML document and it mainly comprises of document header, which is represented by head tag, and document body, which is represented by body tag. We can say that HTML tag has two subtags, that is head and body. Inside head we have different tags, inside body we have different tags. Head tag, it represents the document's header, which can keep other HTML tags like title, link, metadata, etc. The title tag is used inside the head tag to mention the document title. Whatever you write inside the title tag, it will be appear on the tab when you open that particular page. Body tag represents the document's body, which keeps other HTML tags like heading, div, p, etc. So this is the overview of the structure of HTML. In the next session, we are going to discuss HTML tags. Thank you for watching the video.